Hi everyone, welcome to Pep Talk. I'm Pauline Morini and today we're going to talk about childcare. If you have children, and especially if you're a first-time parent, then this episode is for you. We're going to share basic questions to ask when visiting a preschool. I have here with me Sherri Morini, who is a businesswoman, mother, and preschool director for over 30 years. She knows a lot about the field, and she also happens to be my mother-in-law. So she agreed to share the behind the scenes with us. Sherri, welcome. It's a pleasure to have you here. Thank you so much for coming.
Hey, Pauline, thanks for having me. I'm so excited. This is really fun. I never did this before, so it's,
Well, welcome. We're happy to have you here.
Great.
Yeah,
so what
Sherri,
can I tell you? What can I expose about preschools?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So how about we start telling us a little bit about yourself and the work you've been doing with kids for the past 30 years.
Okay. All right. Well, I opened a school 32 years ago, 1986, with a partner who was my oldest son's preschool teacher. She wanted to open a school, and she's the educator. I had a business background, so I wanted to open a business. So worked together, and everything worked out nicely. We opened our school in Westfield, Mass. in, like I said, 1986. And what makes it unique is very rural. We have horses on the property. I bring my dog to work every day with me, and
that's so cute.
Got my little Chung, and we have my little miniature horse. This year is Checkers has been with us about 10 years.
Wow.
We have kids that remember a lot about the school, and one thing they remember is getting pony rides.
Wow.
I've had various ponies throughout the years. They don't live forever.
That's something different, huh? For
Yeah.
preschool to do? So how did you start doing that, the pony rides?
Well, I had the horses anyway, and Fran thought it'd be a great thing, and then it turned into something where it's not the main focus of the school, obviously, but we saw where kids were getting, like shy children, they'd have much more confidence getting on a horse. And sometimes I use my big horse. Once in a while, if I felt the older kids could do that, we put them on the bigger horse. And when I could lift them up higher too. Right now I can't lift them up anymore. So now we have my little, my miniature horse and another pony named Tater Tot. So we have Checkers and Tater Tot. And the kids just get such an overwhelming feel of confidence when they're on a horse, because I've been riding for years too. So it's like you feel like $1 million when you're on a horse.
Wow.
And so the shy kids really feel good about themselves. Then you find out the little kids that you think are little bullies in the school, which we don't like that word, but there are some little more aggressive children. They see a horse and they back down. So it's fun to see what happens when they see an animal that's a little overwhelming.
Wow.
But the miniature horse is he's really the right size for them.
Wow.
So
that's so great. So so walk us through about the difference between a preschool and home care, and what are the pros and cons. So maybe lots of parents at home, they like to understand a little better about it.
Right.
So share with us your knowledge about that.
Well, if you're looking for preschool, home care is one avenue that people take because sometimes they have a more flexible schedule. They might open earlier for you, because in a home care, there's only between 6 and 10 to 12 children in a home, depending on how many people are there to help. So if you need to go in before 6 o'clock in the morning, most centers don't open before 7. So sometimes home care is a little more flexible in that respect. They're great for babies because you don't have such a population as in a center where babies are more susceptible to colds and viruses and all that. So that's another good aspect about home care. The one issue with home care is if one of their children is sick, they probably have to shut down. Say someone in the home family has the flu, they might have to close, and then you have to find alternate care. Families go on vacation, so many home daycares close for a week or two in the summer, or maybe they close for the Christmas vacation week, and you have to work if you're in the medical field or finance, or if you're not a teacher. So that's one of the downsides to home care. A licensed preschool, a center, has more staffing. We never close. If the teachers are out, we always have extra staffing in our school that's familiar to the children. So say their teacher's out for the day, we can take a teacher from another room and then fill in with an aide here and there, or Fran or myself will fill in here and there if we have to.
So it's more stable, more consistent?
Yeah, yes, it's a very consistent environment and schedule. So we have extra staffing, like I said. And centers also have a curriculum that we have to follow. We have a few more regulations than home daycares. And, some home daycares are wonderful. They have a curriculum. They do projects, and they do a lot of consistent things with the children. Preschools have to do that. Centers, we have to have a regular schedule, and it becomes familiar with the kids.
Yeah.
They're very happy coming in the morning because they know when they come, they're going to have snack, or they're going to start with a circle
and
time.
And they'll see that familiar face, the
Yeah.
same teacher every day.
Yes, that's our big thing, is keeping a consistent staff. Preschool's a really tough burnout situation. We've happened to have the same staff for many years.
Wow, that's amazing.
It's really good. We treat them really well, and we back them, we support them if they have issues or problems, or if they have family problems, we also support that.
Yeah.
So it's really important to find a preschool that's consistent. Okay.
That's awesome. And a lot of times parents, they get heartbroken when they have to leave their children at preschool. So tell us a little bit about the benefits of actually the kid growing up in this environment.
Okay. Well, a lot of times the parents, I'm handing clinics to the parents because their little child goes off to play, and they're just devastated. They don't miss me. Oh my God, now what? What did I do wrong? And they want to be missed, but it shows that they've really raised a very well-adjusted child, that they can handle that. Some children do have separation, and we encourage the parent, we help the parent through it, because they have to separate at some point. It's now or it's later when they get to school. So we have to help them do that. And it's the parents are really heartbroken sometimes, but we all get through it, and we help them through. That's our job, is to help them through.
It's good for the kid as well, because they're going to learn how to share. They're going to learn so many other basic skills, right?
That is our job too, is to get them to to do the sharing and socializing. Yes, a big job is socializing these little creatures that come in. They're a lot of fun, but they have to learn. I mean, it's wonderful if a parent can stay home with a child for the first few years. That's great, but financially, a lot of parents can't. You have single parents, or and you have
have to work.
You have to work.
Right?
You have homes to support. You need to put food on the table. So my main goal when I opened the school was to give the kids a place that they were having fun, and they were safe, and so the parents could go and not feel guilty about leaving the child there. Because we do have a lot of fun at the school. What school has dogs and ponies? Yeah,
right? It's a very special one, I got to tell you. So, Sherri, what should you look when you're visiting a preschool?
Okay.
What are the things that the parents should, pay attention to or ask? What are the things that we need to look for?
All right. Well, everyone asks the same questions. They all read the parent magazines. What's your curriculum? Is the staff certified? And and it's all the same questions. But what you should really look at is, are the teachers on the floor with the kids playing? What's the mood in the room? Are the teachers happy? Are they laughing with the kids? Are they engaged? Are the children engaged? Are they always busy? There should be different things going on in the room. It's like a three-ring circus.
Okay.
So you have a teacher doing a developmental skill at a table, like a project. Then you have kids playing with the blocks, or you have them in dramatic play doing housekeeping, or we get really creative. We have prince and princess areas once a month, so we have costumes for that.
Wow, that's fun.
Yeah, so you want to make sure there's a lot of well-rounded activities going on.
Okay.
And are the teachers friendly to each other? You want to make sure that it's a really good, tight
nice
staff.
Environment.
A very nice. You want a harmonious,
respectful environment.
Yes, you want the teachers being respectful to each other and to the children. And then you also want to see them playing and laughing. And are they? And if you can, when you're visiting, can you ask a teacher about something going on in the classroom, or ask the teacher to explain the program if it's appropriate, if they're not busy doing something else. So that's the stuff you should look for for the behind the scenes
You were mentioning to me before about directors' availability. So how do you feel about that?
Okay, so when you start calling a preschool, you want to make a phone call and see if someone answers right away. That's awesome. If it's even just a teacher, not the director, but at least you can leave a message and have someone call you back. If you have to leave a message, how long does it take to get a call back? Is it going to take a day or two?
Question. Yeah.
If it's more than a day or two and you have to call again, you have to think that if I go to this school and I want to tell them, okay, I can't make it, I got a staff meeting after work, Auntie Mary's going to pick up. A preschool has to know your schedule. They have to know that there's going to be a change, someone else is picking up, they have to bring their ID with them. So we need to know that stuff. So when you're doing something like that, you make sure you check it out and see how long it takes. Make notes. And if someone calls back, like I said, time it, and then you can ask your questions.
Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome. So now that we're talking about technology, how usually the preschools communicate with the parents, and why this is so important?
Okay, when I opened, technology was a phone, and we were so excited that we had intercoms in the rooms. We were big back then. It was funny. Now we look at it, and everyone has. We have cell phones. We have apps that are just made for preschools and parents. So the teachers now, instead of leaving all these written notes, they can send an app. Okay, your child's having a great day. Or they ate lunch or they didn't eat lunch, especially the babies. You have to know their schedule. You have to know if they ate or didn't eat, or if they slept. Parents need to know that when they go home.
Yeah.
And also, so say you left a crying child and you're off to work and, oh my God, now what now?
Yeah.
It's so, what do I do? How am I going to concentrate?
Yeah.
Well, now a teacher can take a picture, on their phone. As soon as the kids, as soon as they're happy and doing something fun, we take a picture, and the teachers are really happy to send it to the parents. So they can now relax,
Calm down, like, okay.
and now they can go to work and keep their jobs.
Yeah,
and
that's important, right?
That's very important. We want to make sure, and again, I don't want them feeling guilty that they're, I don't want them picturing that child sitting in the corner by themselves.
Yeah.
And not having any fun for the day.
Yeah.
And then also check out the playground. See, if there's a lot of climbing equipment and
Oh, wow. For motor skills
for
and things
the
like
gross
that?
motor is very important. And how often do they go out every day? And how long do they go out year round?
Wow.
We go out all the time. My teachers are tenacious. I give them credit. They are out if it's in the winter, if it's 25 and sunny, they're outside. We have a hill they can go sliding on if it's snowing.
Wow, that sounds like fun.
Yeah, it's a lot of so like I said again, we have fun. And it's good gross motor, and it gets their energy out. They need to be outside.
Yeah.
So check out the playground, and check out to see when they go out and how often.
Okay.
And also another thing, put in the back of your mind: is the facility clean? Is it cluttered? Are the hallways cluttered? Are the rooms cluttered? The hallways shouldn't be cluttered because of fire escapes, obviously. But you have to,
Really
is there enough
make sure
storeroom for the teachers to put all their equipment away? And do they have a lot of equipment? Are the shelves full of manipulatives and age-appropriate activities?
Yeah.
Blocks, cars, trucks, dramatic play. Check all that stuff out. It's not all about curriculum. Some are just so bent on what's he going to learn? Is he going to read by the time he leaves? Or is she going to, be, singing and everything? That's really not that important to us. Our job is really to get them socialized again and get them confident enough so when they get to school, the kindergarten teacher isn't being a referee. They want the child to be able to come in the class, sit down, listen to instructions, be able to play with their friends nicely, and learn.
Yeah.
So their attitude doesn't get in the way of learning.
Yeah, that's amazing. You guys, I've been watching you guys, and you guys do an amazing job with the kids. So tell us a little bit about the programs that you guys have for each group of
Well, we
kids.
have our little sprouts, and that's our little babies. They're about 12 months old. We will be starting to take 3-month-olds and up this summer.
Okay.
The only reason we held off on taking the little babies is finding great staff.
Yeah.
It's people don't understand how important it is to have great staff with your children. We want you to trust us with your child, and so we've really put off now. We've really put a lot of effort into finding some more new staffing. And so we'll be taking the babies from 3 months on. And they'll have their own room with 7 little babies and 2 teachers in it. The Sprouts are the 12 months to 24-month-olds, and they're starting out to crawl and gain more milestones. So our teachers are all trained, and they've done their studies. So if there's any delays, we can let parents know about it. And then, of course, we go into the toddlers, which are in between toddlers and preschoolers. So the toddlers are 2 to 3-year-olds. So that's when they're learning how to get potty trained. Share now, they're not playing together yet. It's usually about 3 years old. They actually play cooperatively with each other. They're still doing the parallel play. They'll play next to each other, but not with each other.
Okay.
So but we also make sure they are next to each other and not just being off in a little corner by themselves in their own little world. We want to get them into the everyone's world.
Yeah.
Then they go into preschool where they're the 3s, 4s, and 5s. So we get them ready to go to school.
That's awesome. So a lot of parents have questions about rating systems. And what is it, Sherri? Can you explain a little bit to us?
Well, okay, rating systems. All right, the states had to come up with a rating system. They had to either develop one or implement one because they wanted to get subsidized money. The federal government required a rating system. It can be from like 1 star to 5 stars. My opinion about rating systems is it's a lot of paperwork. You're making the teachers do a lot of paperwork instead of being with the children. So it's a lot of documentation. Most schools are great schools without a high rating. So, but my feeling, the best rating system should be your own.
Okay.
You should know what you want for what outcome you want for your child. And if you want a bunch of, the 5-star schools have all degreed teachers in the classrooms. So it's up to you. Do you want educated educators with your children, or do you want educators that are on the floor with your children, playing with them and getting to know them?
Yeah.
So we're sort of in the middle.
Okay.
We don't stress on the rating system. We really stress on reality, and we really want you to choose what you think your child would be better at.
Awesome.
Into.
That's great. Also, a lot of people talk about room cameras.
Oh, yeah.
That's a really...
It's a new and modern, technique. I don't know if it makes parents feel better or not. We've never installed cameras, not because we're old-fashioned, but I feel like I don't want to be under camera all the time doing my job. I know it would go away once the newness wears off. But a problem that we've had, the parents have come in from other schools that had cameras, they tuned in, which, sometimes they're just tuning in to have, just to see what their children's doing or what the room's doing. And you're supposed to be working, number one, okay? So you're supposed to be working, but I know you want to check out on your child. Now, say you check in and not your child, but any child sitting alone at a table, maybe doing something by themselves. They're doing a puzzle or they're coloring by themselves, and everyone else is doing activities. And then you're like, what's that about? What are they singling someone out? But you haven't seen 20 minutes before.
Picture.
Right. The big picture is that little child could have been knocking down everyone's towers or just running through the dramatic play, and the teachers already gave them their 3 or 4 or 5 warnings. And they have to, learn that they can't do that. There's other people to think about, and they have to start thinking about someone else.
So give that child a little time out before we introduce them.
Can't use that word. We just give them a little. No,
really?
no time. No. Every parent in the world uses the word timeout. The schools are not allowed to do that anymore.
Oh.
It's a little redirection.
Okay.
And we just get them to sit by themselves, and then when they're ready to rejoin the group, then the teacher will talk to them, and tell them and ask them, what do you think? What did you do that made you? That we had to have you sit by yourself. So we make them think about it. And the ones that just can't do that, they have to come down to our office, and like the principal's office, and we have to talk to them.
Is it yours?
Yes.
You are the principal.
Oh yeah, I'm so mean and scary. But how do you get mad at a 3 or 4-year-old?
Right, they're so cute.
Yeah, they are. So I try not to laugh, because maybe, but we have some kids that are just a little more aggressive.
Yeah.
And then and if there is an issue that's consistent, then we talk to the parents about it.
Yeah.
Is there something at home going on? Did the hamster die? Or did something happen that, or anything that out of the ordinary? Or is someone getting more attention than them at home? Did they just have a new baby? So we know there might be a little acting out.
Yeah.
So we have to know that thing,
To
that
understand
too.
the background.
Yes, and before we don't expel children.
Yeah.
But then again, we also refer children. Say our teachers pick up on a, like a little delay. Maybe they're just not up to what the rest of the group's doing. So then most preschools they'll refer you to a specialist.
Okay.
Or it's usually most of the public schools have that kind of opportunity to be screened for something that they can help with.
Wow.
And the earlier you get screening and help for your child, they'll be ahead of the curve when they get into the public school.
So it's more like a partnership with the parents that you really help them identify potential issues and help them go through this.
Right, and then we try to. Some parents don't want to hear it, but we have to gently, explain it. And sometimes they hear it from a third party.
Yeah.
But we're there to help the child. That's our job again, and we want to make sure that they're getting all the services they would need.
Yeah. So Sherri, how do a parent that is watching us right now would start to search or to find a great preschool?
Well, like I said, you're going to start calling.
Okay.
Go online, maybe check. You can also call your state's early education department. Usually on those sites, they have a listing of all the licensed preschools that they service. And go to a licensed preschool. I mean, you can go, like I said, you can go to your neighbor or your aunt or uncle, but
it's not worth it.
it's not going to be worth it in the end. You might be saving a little money, but teachers get paid, for a service, and they do their job. And the teachers have to have 20 hours of training every year on top of their education they already have. So we're always keeping up.
So they know what they're doing.
Right, and so you have to think about what's your priorities. So education's a big one, and it starts in the preschools. So when you're starting to look, like I said, go online and talk to neighbors and get referrals. Talk to your, your family. Talk to your neighbors. Talk to anybody that or even coworkers that have children in preschool, and then go make physical visits. And if you want to go back, most preschools are open to have you come back and sit and observe. The first one is usually just touring, get a feel for the school. Then if you want to go and see it again, just call for an appointment. Don't show up unannounced just for visits. That's really not fair to because there might be field trips that day, or there might be a special visitor. It's best to go when it's like a normal day.
Okay.
When they're having just a regular schedule, and then sit in on it for a little bit and see what your child thinks. And not every child's going to be comfortable in a new situation. Some are. Some just run off and want to play and stay forever. And then other kids are very shy, and but that's typical. That's normal.
Wow.
So that's how you would start looking. And then, like I had already said, just check out the little stuff, the details. And that's besides the curriculum and all the state required the state required curriculums and all that.
Yeah. Wow.
Okay.
That is awesome. Okay. I think we covered a lot here. So, I mean, this was amazing.
All right, I'm glad. Well, I hope I answered some questions for everybody.
You did.
Just want to make sure, trying to think of anything. I've been doing this for so long, I answer questions automatically, so I just want to make sure we covered a lot of stuff.
So how about you give our folks at home your website?
Oh, okay.
In case they want to check it out, they have questions, they can email you.
Oh, great. Okay, it's creativekidswestfield.com, and we're located in Westfield, Mass, in the Berkshires.
That was amazing. Thank you, Sherri, so much for coming and for sharing your knowledge with us. For you at home, I hope now you have a better idea of how childcare works and what to look for when searching for a preschool. Thanks again for watching. Stay happy, stay healthy. See you guys next time. Thank you.
Funding for Simsbury Community Television is provided in part by contributions from viewers like you. Thank you.